Hello everybody, my name is Rose Thorne and today I am doing a poetry book review. The book is called 18 Straight Whiskeys by Micheal Easton. Now, how I got interested in Micheal Easton, as if anybody knows anything about Micheal Easton, he was an actor on a soap opera called Port Charles that aired a while back. And the whole soap opera revolved around him playing the part of a vampire and going after a lost love, and the show was really well done. It was a really well done show. I really enjoyed it, but I got interested in him as a person, as an actor, and then when I was browsing online and I heard that he was a writer and he wrote poetry and had a book of poetry, I was immediately interested because I love good poetry. And I wondered what kind of poetry that he had put together. So I heard about this book, 18 Straight Whiskeys, and I wondered what kind of poetry that he would have in here. I wasn't sure, but I looked around, and I will tell you, if you're someone that you are considering getting this book, it's probably not going to be cheap. Unless you get lucky and you happen to find a much cheaper copy. It took me a long time to find the copy that I had for a price that wasn't completely outrageous. The reason why the price is so expensive is because when this book was printed, not a lot were printed, so that makes the price go up. So I managed to get my hand on a copy and I read all the way through. And for those that are wondering what kind of poetry is in here, the word that comes to mind is visceral. Very visceral, very real, very stark. If you're someone that you are a fan of Charles Bukowski, you'll love this poetry. You will definitely love this poetry. Charles Bukowski, as a writer, he was an amazing writer. He was an alcoholic, woman chaser, crazy guy, but he wrote from a place of brilliance and realism, and I love Charles Bukowski. And so when I heard that Micheal Easton was influenced by Charles Bukowski, I just knew that the chances of me liking his poetry would be great. So I got the book and I read it, and there are so many great pieces in here that just stick with you long after you put the book away. So to give you a sample of his writing, I got a few pages earmarked here. There is a poem called Clean. The guy in the stall next to me is in bad shape. I hear him snort some coke, then he pukes. Barf splashes onto my shoes as I look down to hear him moan and talk, toilet words, into the porcelain, low and hollow, begging, "Oh God, oh God!" And even though he puked on my shoes, I feel sorry for him. Been clean for 63 days, full on pasta, not shit, just sitting on a toilet, and thinking there's a poem in this somewhere. A poem about this guy doubled up over the tank, and me, thinking about myself with barf on my shoes, hearing his friends outside the John shouting at him, calling him Manson because his name is Charles, and laughing. Laughing at their drunk, stoned friend, laughing at the way he can't hold it anymore. Wanting to leave this place, knowing if I go home now and write this poem without a bottle in front of me, it will be different. Without being drunk, that I might even be able to read what I wrote in the morning. Yes, I think, hurry home. This is going to take some time. So that's one of the poems from the book. It's called Clean. And here's another one called Paradise. She tears him apart. The way she holds back, pulls her punches, forgets her lies. The way she'll spit in the fountain while he makes his wish, and laugh. She goes out on him blatantly, disregards their lunch dates, and embarrasses him in front of his associates. Likes to drink stoli and do lines, says blah 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 a lot. Butterflies won't land on her, and he still loves her. So he calls me in the middle of the night, crying into the phone. Just cries without a hello. This man who went to college and fixed his teeth, who finds himself on a payphone at a lousy hour, desperate and looking for her. He's breathing heavy and coughs often, tells me about the crazy thoughts that have passed over him lately. Misguided is the word he uses. Says he hasn't slept in a week and he's got to go. He'll try her over at one of her girlfriends. Says that he's happier than he's ever been, then hangs up. And I'm caught, thinking, pounding inside and sweating, nestled in the impression this girl makes on me. And here's a poem that has stuck with me for a long time after I read the book. This is like one of the top poems that I think about when I think about this book, because there's a lot of truth in it. It's called The Thing. When you're 19, you just don't believe, so you have faith in the thing. When you're 19, everybody has a thing. When he was 19, my oldest brother just drank. JD was his thing. 2 days after his 19th birthday, my other brother joined the army. He had this fighting thing. My other brother's thing reminded my dad of his, a place called Nah Dang. He was that age. He saw his best friend step on a live mine. That would always be my dad's thing. While my dad was in Vietnam, my mom watched TV and waited. That's all she did, she says. 2 things. She wouldn't tell me how old she was when she did her things. My sister got married at 19 to an older guy from Seattle. She spent a lot of time planning a wedding, getting a church and a hall, picking bridesmaids and napkins and stuff. Her thing lasted 10 months. She found the guy from Seattle getting blown by his secretary in some filing room at the place where he worked. My sister said he looked happy. I guess that was his thing. When I was 19, I didn't know nothing. Didn't even know my thing, which I guess, knowing that you know nothing is your thing. Since then, things have only gotten worse. That poem has just stuck with me for a long time because it just, everybody has a thing at some point, they get very wrapped around and then the things change over the years. But that poem really stuck with me. If you're someone that you love good, visceral, punch you in the face kind of poetry, very realistic, nothing flowery, you will absolutely fall in love with this book. Absolutely fall in love. Is it a bit on the expensive side? Yes. But is it worth it? Absolutely. It's worth the money paid. If you're looking to get this book, I recommend searching around for it. Be patient, take a while, search around for it, because it is going to be hard to find. There are not a lot of these were printed, but if you find it for kind of cheap, or if you find it somewhere, snatch it up, because this is not a book you're going to find just anywhere, and the poetry inside is well worth the read. Well worth the read. It's so worth owning this book. I can't say enough about it. I have done my research and I found out that Micheal Easton, after writing this book, he put out a few other things, but I'm a big fan of poetry, and so I thoroughly enjoyed his poetry. So I can say that Mr. Micheal Easton, he's a talented actor. He was a talented actor on Port Charles, and he's certainly a talented writer. So he went through a lot. Obviously, he went through a bout of alcoholism, but I'm really glad that he came out the other side, and he put down his thoughts into poetry and shared it with the world, because he shared it with me, and I feel that my world has been made better by it. So that's my review of the Micheal Easton book. Really enjoyed his work, really enjoyed the words that he's written. It's right along the vein of Charles Bukowski, and I think that's a fabulous thing. So that's my review of the book. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Please take care, and bye-bye.